CIG is releasing Alpha 4.8 next week. We've got a lot of ships. We got the Pitbull, the Ironclad, the M8, the other Ironclad, the Tiburon. There's a lot of stuff coming, and there's a lot of good features. So we're going to do this little patch report here. Check out the last bits of what they have to say about this update that they haven't told us. We might also get a patch watch on Spectrum, but this is probably the last big key details, and hopefully some interesting surprises here for the update next week.
May is known for combat in the Star Citizen universe, or at the very least, celebrating the various combat vehicles that defend, destroy, or otherwise dominate the more adversarial aspects of life in the PU. And this year, we bring that to the forefront like never before with next week's publish of Alpha 4.8.
The freaking flames in the background must feel great. I might steal that for this stream.
The long-awaited Tactical Strike Group's release. With Tactical Strike Groups, you and a select cadre of companions can pull together a small collection of ships designed to overcome a variety of mission objectives and achieve ultimate victory in our first dedicated teamwork-designed, spaceship-based PvE combat release.
Once you get these fighters off us, I'll fill you in on the situation.
Here, you'll
That right there is the most communication you're going to get
come
during
to
your
the aid of a valiant People's Alliance Idris that is locked in mortal combat with the Vanduul tech thieves calling themselves the Shattered Blade. You know, those same ones that you've been unknowingly chasing since you braved the Tempest and Stormbreaker about this time last year. They've taken hostages and holed up in a previously abandoned and
the regen crisis is turning into this, right? We followed the regen crisis to Dr. Yorit. We took the trail from Dr. Yorit, led us into Nyx, right, where we found Shattered Blade was smuggling the stuff in. I'm not exactly sure how that connects us to the Rockcracker facilities, if those are involved in the story or if that's standalone. I haven't even thought about that connection. Rockcracker is from a different group, right? That's coming from Shubin, I think. So that's a different thing. This, though, it sounds like is coming from Intersect. So this is like, is this still part of the regen crisis story technically? Did he say
pull
Intersect?
together a small collection of ships designed to overcome a variety of missions. And then
Hold on, I'm sorry. Let me go back.
With Tactical Strike Groups, you and a select cadre of companions can pull together a small collection of ships designed to overcome a variety of mission objectives and achieve ultimate victory in our first dedicated teamwork-designed, spaceship-based PvE combat release.
Once you get these fighters off us, I'll fill you in on the situation.
Here, you'll come to the aid of a valiant People's Alliance Idris.
People's Alliance. Okay. So we are branching off from the regen crisis story. This is no longer Intersect versus Shattered Blade. This is now People's Alliance versus Shattered. Was Intersect ever fighting Shattered Blade? When we first got into the system, we were fighting on behalf of Intersect. Yeah. So we're now kind of just changing different factions, slowly transforming the story into something a little wider.
Locked in mortal combat with the Vanduul tech thieves calling themselves the Shattered Blade. You know,
did they show the M80?
Same ones that you've been unknowingly chasing since you braved the Tempest and Stormbreaker about this time last year. They've taken hostages and holed up in a previous...
Intersect is helping us. Oh, okay. They're contracting us to fight for People's Alliance. Okay, so it is still part of the same group of conflicts.
Abandoned and newly fortified extraction station. The mission, take out their forces, disable or survive the turrets,
Good hit. Nice work.
fly inside and bring down the power, and then board the station and recover the hostage. Or, you know, extract them, because it used to be an extraction station. See?
To confirm, you don't actually extract the NPCs. They get into ships and fly away. That's what I was told when we were playing. I didn't get into the hangar, but when we were in the group, they were saying that you don't actually pick up the NPCs. It is not the Trojan horse of passenger transport, unfortunately.
And of course, if you've already been testing on PTU or watching others on Twitch and YouTube, you know your troubles don't end there, because the massive Vanduul Mauler is tired of these guys.
Bro, that looks sick.
No, your troubles don't end there, because the massive Vandal Mauler is tired of...
They really need to get the, if there's anything else that I would not want to see, or would want to see, with these large Vandal ships coming out of Quantum, it's like something reminiscent of the Witch Space sound in Elite Dangerous when the massive carriers come out of Witch Space and it's just like...
Massive Vandal Mauler is tired of these
I want
guys'
that.
And don't seem to care which humans are which. So bug out or stand your ground if
Ooh.
you can. The choice is up to you.
It's got a little laser boy.
Is the most exciting step yet in realizing the fullest potential.
Can anybody say Beam Citizen? Even the Vandal are on board.
Star Citizen's breadth of flyable combat ships. And like sandbox
Beam
content
Citizen.
such as Align and Mine, operations like Onyx Facilities and Rockcracker, events like Race for Stanton, or even Pyro's Contested Zones, Tactical Strike Groups is not a one-time release, but a new benchmark in the kinds of featured content that we can continue to build on for subsequent patches as we continue building out our universe on this journey to 1.0 and beyond.
It's not going to matter how many times you say it, Jared. There will still be... I don't think we've still gotten that quite clear through the whole community. I still remember, I think, at least as recently as January, telling people still arguing that these things don't matter because you can't play them right now and that ruins it, even though they're supposed to be around for a long time. I still remember somebody last year told me all of these things that they add, that he just listed, should be considered events because within 6 months of them being put into the game, CIG is working on something else. Therefore, they're not the focus anymore. And I just don't understand how anybody that's thinking that way is thinking about this being a full game being built. They can't just not, I don't know. It's funny that they have to keep mentioning that though and making it clear.
Alongside this new content is a new feature that looks to change overall fleet gameplay in new and interesting ways. And that's the addition of ship hangar services.
You're right, Race for Stanton was probably not a good example for him to name. That does mean that you don't have to physically load the stuff onto the ship, but that's not going to be... that's not going away for good. I haven't tested this, but I'm sure you can still physically load and unload the stuff.
Provided, of course, that they have the requisite stock sitting aboard. Now, it's great for obvious ships like the Idris and the Polaris, but it's also coming to the Carrack, the Starlancer TAC, and fancy ships like the 600i and 890 Jump.
What? They did something with the 600i? Oh, God, good for you, CIG.
Now, of course, I'm not suggesting you bring your 890 Jump into combat situations, but you could. And if you're like me, you would.
I mean, everything's got forward-facing guns.
New refueling missions are arriving in Alpha 4.8, designed to help aspiring Good Samaritans begin their careers of helpful service to others. Now, when NPCs take their eye off the gauge...
Okay, I have not seen this UI yet because we couldn't get this, well, I mean, you have to have a Starfare. The UI has been simplified from what people were saying. It actually looks a little more complicated to me, but it's probably just because I haven't seen it before. But I've seen a lot of complaints that they simplified it too much, like the actual process of refueling. And that's a huge bummer if so. I hope that that is just something that's temporary with this first reiteration they did. And we see this be a more full-fledged game loop for people.
NPCs take their eye off the gauge, you have new opportunities to get them on their way once more. This is super useful for a ship like the Starfare, as well as this cute, adorable little guy you might recognize from its recent reveal on social media. You keep expecting the eyes to pop out like a Pixar car.
It really does look a lot like the Odyssey to me. More than the Starlancer. Let's see, the Misk Odyssey, in my opinion, that was the first Misk ship that I saw, and I was like, ooh, okay, maybe Misk ships are pretty nice. It's like that I guess that's also in the Starlancer, huh? That like dual tone kind of Godurtherchin. I like the look of it. I like the look of it, but I wish, I mean, it's a weird situation they put themselves in by releasing the Starfarer first because it's such a gigantic ship. It makes sense to release a smaller one for people who to be able to actually try it. Nobody wants to do all of the work in Star Citizen to earn a Starfarer only to then do refueling gameplay, which isn't fun. So they needed a smaller ship for it, but this one is a bit... it's a bit rough. Releasing a brand new ship like this for the gameplay when the other ship that's supposed to use the gameplay is not as great as it always feels a little rough to me, but we'll see how this thing performs. At least refueling is a thing now.
Now, from new ships to one of our oldest, the Drake Caterpillar is finally getting its fabled command module functionality in the upcoming Alpha 4.8. With this, you can leave your ship planetside and scout around while others unload, abandon unruly crewmates for their poor behavior, or smile as you discover a loophole in Drake's no escape pod mantra and live to fight another day.
Bro, what? Come on. Anybody see this situation actually playing out like this? Anybody who wants to attack your ship to blow it up is definitely going to blow up the escape pod. We're not kind people. Or they would steal the cargo and then I don't know. I think it makes sense as an escape pod, less inside of combat and more like when you realize you need to get away from the ship. Still, this is a pretty cool addition to the ships.
It's also worth noting this command module is coming to 2 other vehicles launching in next week's patch. I wonder what those could be.
Ooh.
There's a host of new FPS items, including new plasma grenades for blowing things up, new G-force resistant flight, new plasma grenades for blowing things up.
What in the bro? Oh my god. I'm not letting anybody on my ship with one of these. Are you kidding me? Look at how big that's insane.
Resistant flight suits that daring pilots may want to consider over flying
As
in
the
bulkier
Pitbull.
armors all the time.
Dude, the Pitbull is tiny. Look at that thing. That's like the size of a car.
That daring pilots may want to consider over flying in bulkier armors all the time. And then the main event, the Novia crossbow. Now
Yo, where's my man Lurch? Let's go! Brothers, we held the line. The crossbow is here. We got it. Star Citizen's done. Launch it, Chris. 1.0
put
is
a
ready.
pin in bad folks, good folks, and anyone that just annoys you in style with this retro-inspired, futuristic death dealer. And then, of course, there's our co-main event. A big ship combat release like Tactical Strike Groups may highlight a few gaps in your fleet. Well, DefenseCon is here to fill your holes.
Jared. This is the kind of language we get when they switch from Invictus Week to DefenseCon. There's no censors for Drake. But, geez, that's a...
After Invictus went home to Sol, DefenseCon is stepping up.
These freaking signs are just like, Drake, yeah. That's it. Just big banner. Drake, yeah, dude.
After Invictus went home to Sol, DefenseCon is stepping up to celebrate the everyday heroes who truly make the universe.
Oh. Did I just peek a little extra ship there?
Stepping up to celebrate the everyday heroes.
M80? Just a little bit. Oh. Just a teensy bit over there. I'm sure we'll see more of it,
Truly make the universe a better
they brought back
and safer
dancers,
place.
dude.
And maybe without the stuffy heavy-handedness of the
man.
UEE Navy. That means fire and attitude as DefenseCon presents the latest in combat spec. And since we're in the middle of DefenseCon Reveal Week on social media, let's take a look at some of the ships on offer during this year's event.
It is feeling quite Drake. Ooh! That looks way better with the wings folded
Common
out.
sense, perhaps.
Wait, I really liked that. I like that. It looks way better with the wings down. It's like a... just a fucking thruster with the actual literal cockpit on it. There's nothing else here. It's like half of this ship is a thruster. You probably got some space for components, and then this guy's sitting here. That's crazy. That's gonna be a fun ship to fly around.
Drake Pitbull, with more guns than common sense, perhaps. The Origin M80, proving that looks can kill.
This one just, the M80 just really, I don't know, it kind of confuses me. If you showed this ship to me, I wouldn't think it was Origin, like just flying around, especially with the orange highlights. it's a beautiful ship. It's just it feels radical for Origin. Certainly looks cool. I'm not sure about the back, to be quite honest. I kind of agree with the folks who say that it feels a little bit more Kruger. I don't know. I need to see more of this one. It's kind of interesting because I'm a bigger Origin fan than a Drake fan, but the Pitbull jumps out to me more than this one does. Again, great looking ship. I just, I don't know how Origin it feels.
Proving that looks can kill. The Miss Starlite saying, not all heroes blow things up.
This definitely looks missed.
Tiburon, which
whoa! Dude.
Not all heroes blow things up.
Well, that's different. That's not a Hammerhead variant at all, is it?
Tiburon, which, I'm just gonna say it, it's a shark with a freaking laser beam on its head.
What is that ship? Wait, show me more. What?
Freaking laser beam on its head.
This week is gonna be crazy.
And then, of course, the fatter pillar.
Ooh.
And the
landing gear looks good
from Drake.
Dude, this is crazy. There's too many ships.
And the Ironclad assault from Drake. The latter of which is getting the same hangar services we discussed before, and all things working out like they should. Both will be coming to PTU on Monday, May 11th, for existing owners to fly first.
Oi. Dude. Oh, this is a lot of ships, man. I don't even know what's going to end up being the thing everybody's looking at next week. I guess probably the Ironclad. This thing is crazy, though. It's huge. The animations are looking nice. The fact that you can fit this many ships into it, and it gets to repair and refuel them. It's basically, they're just confirming this thing is now a smaller Kraken. The fact that the Ironclad is getting hangar services, and you can put ships inside the Ironclad, and it opens from the top. The things people are going to use these ships for. Holy crap. And yeah, this thing coming to PTU is going to boost the interest in that. That's probably why they're putting these in the PTU instead of doing the whole straight to live like they have been this week. This is going to boost so much hype next week.
The latter, which is getting the same hangar services we discussed before, and all things working out like they should.
There are a lot of freaking guns on here. You got a quad 4 turret on the front here, another one right here. Looks like 2 double turrets here. I don't know what size they are, probably 2s. One bigger one up here. That's probably bigger caliber. And it looks like there's another one on the side over here that's firing. I think I'm seeing a PDC here. I can't tell. So there might also be PDCs along the freaking ship that you're not seeing.
They should.
Might not be.
Both will be coming to PTU on Monday.
Please tell me these are missile launch tubes. That would be the best thing ever. If these opened up and missiles came out of them, I would buy this ship. No, I wouldn't. But I would say I would.
PTU on Monday, May 11th, for existing owners to fly first. Yay!
That's crazy.
Of course, there's one
they
more
do
ship
missiles come out of it.
Concept debut at DefenseCon this year, and that's the Anvil Odin battlecruiser. Now, not much has been revealed at this point beyond, yes, it really is twice the size of the Javelin. But you can get 3 different first glimpses of it tomorrow, May 8th, in the weekly newsletter, social media, and even in the PTU if you know where to look.
What? Oh,
DefenseCon
probably
really
like a hollow table
this year, unlike those stuffy UEE folks. Did I do it right?
What was he doing?
No, that's backwards.
Oh, Drake.
Nope, that's backwards again.
D for Drake, filling your holes.
That's a D, right?
D for life.
So it's easy to see that there's a lot going on in 4.8. And like 4.7 before it, this also extends to the weeks after release, with additional Defend location missions coming in 4.81, some Alien Week festivities in 4.82, and if you haven't heard, the return of Xenothreat in 4.83.
Okay, so it becomes, those kind of things make it easier to start understanding how they're doing these roadmap rollouts. we had 2 patches to figure it out, but this kind of confirms it. Basically, if they've gotten to the point where they're doing a roadmap roundup and they're not confirming something, say 1 to 2 weeks before it comes out, well, this isn't confirmed. They just said this is going to be in the patch and it's still tentative. Because like these other things, for instance, this defend mission, that's coming in 4.8.1, as he mentioned. They haven't put the 4.8.2 or 8.3 stuff on here. I don't think Xenothreat is in here either. So we still got more stuff to add to the 4.8 column in terms of the roadmap, but helps us know, like, a lot of the times the stuff that's on there is not going to come to a later patch. But we kind of knew that.
These guys just really don't care for those pro-alien celebrations. Kind of. All in all, next week's patch is chock full of content that'll carry us through to 4.9 in July, all led by TSG and DefenseCon. And in that new DefenseCon spirit of sharing things early, let's carry that over and talk about the rest of 2026 for a bit. Now, throughout the remainder of this year, we intend to deliver the
It's never a good idea.
newly reworked and fully instanced debut of Siege of Orison, the new Genesis-built planets of the Nyx system, Starware and Starkitect goodness, the enormous multi-staged instance Municipal Works operation, a whole bunch of new ships and vehicles and additional gameplay features and quality of life improvements. There's an Apex $7 card that can literally pop its head out at any moment, and of course, as if anybody could forget, Squadron 42. There's a lot we got going on for the remainder of this year, and for that reason, we've made the decision not to host a CitizenCon event for 2026, either in person, digital, direct, or otherwise. It's a decision born out of how important these 2 games are to everyone on both sides of these projects, and while we'll certainly miss getting to meet so many of you
It's a decision born out of, like, we need to freaking release Squadron.
at once, we do encourage you to check out the Bar Citizen World Tour that's well underway, because we always enjoy every opportunity we get to meet you and hear your stories. For instance, I'm going to Amsterdam in a couple weeks. Come find me and tell me how your TSG... For instance, I'm going to Amsterdam in a couple weeks. Come find me and tell me how your TSG experiences went. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. As always, thank you for letting us share the people and process of game development with you. And we'll see you here next week at DefenseCon.
So I just want to go back real quick to the list that he named there.
It's a decision born either in person
To what the stuff's coming this year, because most of that was in CitizenCon last year.
Talk about the rest of 2026 fully instanced debut. Now, throughout the remainder of this year, we intend to deliver the newly reworked and fully instanced debut of Siege of Orison, the new Genesis-built planets of the Nyx system.
So that's Nyx 1, 2, and 3. That's a pretty big one. Siege of Orison is my favorite thing. I was really looking forward to that. Glad they're still planning on it.
Starware and
These are Starware is expected. That's kind of the thing that I feel like they're already starting with the Starware kind of stuff with the way that they're building in the stats. I know stats were already existent, but the general idea of Starware that they have is cloths and like clothes and armor together. So that's its own thing, but I'm glad that's still coming.
The enormous multi-staged instance Municipal Works operation, a whole bunch of new ships and vehicles and additional gameplay features and quality of life improvements. There's an Apex $7 card that can literally pop its head out at any moment. And of course, as if anybody can forget, Squadron 42. There's a lot we got going on for the remainder of this year.
It's kind of crazy that the thing that they were teasing for like, what, 2 or 3 4, 5 months straight in their loading screens is nowhere to be mentioned. I don't know if it was supposed to be social tools or data running or whatever it was, but that's one of the most confusing things I've seen them do in terms of their latest version of marketing. It's like they just brought that up. They told us about it very clearly and very obviously for multiple months, and then they just kind of dropped it and haven't said anything about it. And there's no sign of it being related to anything that's coming into the game. So I don't know. No social tools kind of sucks, man. I don't know what's gonna happen there, but maybe we'll hear something about it in the monthly report. So that is a look at 4.8, which, guys, is kind of insane. Honestly, the features, I would genuinely be disturbed by how many ships were coming in this patch if there weren't so many good features also. I think that's what kind of saves them. It's like they clearly are trying to boost Invictus Week. They want to make the money. And you know what? They're probably going to. Let's clock it right here. It is May 7th. They have currently made about $40 million this year. In the month of May, they have made 1.5 million, let's say 1.6 million, and they have added 10.5 thousand people. Let's see what that looks like in 2 weeks. Let's see if it's all the way up here. If they can make it to around 70 million, it'll be their best May ever. I'm not saying I'm rooting for it, but with the amount of ships that they just said they're going to drop, I think it's possible. If this is a smooth release, if this releases well, there is enough stuff in this patch, from ships to features to progression with the crafting stuff, all that I think this is going to be a pretty successful month for them. As long as they don't mess it up with their Odin release. Yeah. 31 million. They'll hit $1 billion. That's going to come. Those stories are going to be coming out right when they're releasing the Odin thing for probably like $4,000 or $5,000 is going to be a freaking JPEG. That's going to get a whole bunch of attention, but also the real ships that are coming out at the same time. Tiburon, the M80, and all these other choices, I think, are going to also capture attention. And if they manage to announce Squadron 42 on top of all of this, like end of May, the train's off, dude. But we'll see. We'll see if they can pull it off. Either way, that's your last look at 4.8.